to the 49ers You've Got Mail podcast, and I am joined by rookie wide receiver Ronnie Bell and safety Ji'Ayir Brown. I'm Lindsay Polaris. So, Tig, do we call you Tig? That is what I need a final answer on, because you walked into Levi Stadium, said that was your nickname.
Yeah.
And then the vet said you had to earn that nickname. So why don't you tell us about that?
So the nickname is so unique, that it's hard not to call me Tig once you figure it out. So when I first got in here, they said I had to earn a nickname. So I'm like, okay, cool. But probably like the next week, everybody was calling me Tig. I'm like, I don't think I earned it yet, but we're going to roll with it. So I ended up just rolling with it. I ended up eventually earning it in camp later on when I had 2 interceptions. So
you prefer Tig
prefer
now?
Tig.
Okay.
Definitely prefer Tig.
And Ronnie, do you have a nickname?
Ronnie, yeah.
Ronnie is his nickname. So explain to me a little bit about the history that you guys have between you two, both Big Ten alum and never met, but are familiar with each other prior to coming here.
I don't think the Penn State community really will agree with me sitting next to Ronnie right now. But, yeah, definitely knew about Ronnie since I've been in college. Been on the scouting report, one of the best receivers in Michigan. So definitely had to watch out for him out on the field. And always had a good sense of who he was. But now that I finally meet him, great person.
What's it like facing him day in and day out at practice?
Oh, it's fun. It's just like how we used to do it back in college. Just always competing, always trying to get better. So he gave me some insight. I think, was that today you gave me some insight today?
It was today.
It was today?
Some Ronnie Bell
Yeah,
knowledge.
Ronnie giving out knowledge, everything.
What was that? Let's hear it.
Gunner, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Gunner
Yeah.
reps.
Yeah, just little things that I've picked up on at Gunner the last couple games, and so if they're that way, if Tig on the opposite side of me, he can't. He's not a step behind. He's got it in his Duffy too.
Yeah.
All right, so Ronnie, did Tig live up to the hype from everything on those scouting reports in college?
100%, yeah. In the game, he lived up to the hype too. So, definitely was well respected. And then, yeah, once I realized the Niners, he had been drafted by the Niners as well, I was honestly excited to meet him, excited to be his teammate, and yeah, excited to be his friend. He's a good person as well, and yeah, he's a dog out on the field, so definitely fun to play with.
Before we dive into your NFL lives, I did want to give the audience a chance to get to know you guys a little bit better and talk about your football journeys, specifically starting college football, because both of your stories have a little bit of chance involved. Ronnie, you were set to be a basketball player at Missouri State. Can you talk about the series of events that led to a Michigan football career?
Oh, man, it happened fast. It was, senior year, football season. I'm going out there on Fridays, giving it my all, doing my thing, and, setting a bunch of records, breaking a bunch of records and everything. Coach Harbaugh, his brother-in-law, coached basketball for a school that was in my conference. And so I guess they just had been talking ball. And at the time, there was no receiver going to Michigan in my class. And so, they were talking ball, and his brother had mentioned my name, and then he said he watched my film, and he called me the next day. And, once I got that phone call, it was a no-brainer for me because, again, I knew I wanted to play football the whole time. It was just, a matter of the situation at hand. And, once Coach called my phone, I decommitted and committed to Michigan within like a week or something like that. And, the rest is history, yeah.
Did it feel a little bit like fate? Michigan is a Power 5 school. This is not any small program calling you up.
I about to say fate. It was just kind of like a testimony, more so. I feel like to like my faith. I feel like the Lord has always told me to be patient and to always hold my faith. And that couldn't have been any more of an example of that because it was literally like a week before signing day. so yeah, I feel like if anything, that's what it was.
Just in the nick of time. So Tig, your college journey started at JUCO, and you were also a late addition to, I don't want to mess this up, but Lackawanna. Mm-hmm. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Lackawanna Community College's football team. How did that come to be?
Going back to what Ronnie said, like, it got to be God, in them situations. But what had happened was, I didn't have nowhere to go. I was one of the players in high school, setting a bunch of records, doing a lot on the football field, play offense and defense. and just wasn't getting no phone calls, you know, and I was probably had like 30-some touchdowns my senior year.
That's wild.
Yeah, and I was just doing a lot on the field, and I didn't have no phone calls. You know, I was just sitting there waiting patiently, didn't know what to do, taking it day by day, you know, just praying on it. And Lackawanna called. You know, I played in the North versus South Jersey All-Star game with Phil Sims. He hosted that game. So I played in that game. Lackawanna had a recruit from that game that was the star in that game as well, and they seen me through that game. So that's when they called, and it was like, you know, we think you're a great player. You know, we want you to come in as a regular student in August. I'm like, hold on, wait, a regular student?
You're like, wait, hold on.
I ain't coming in as no regular student, you know. So I was like, you know, no thank you, coach, but I don't want to take no season off football, you know. So I was just going to weigh other options, which I didn't have any other options. I was just going to continue to wait for something better. Then July 26th.
You remember
Lackawanna,
the day, the exact day. Okay.
Yeah, July 26th, Lackawanna called and said they had a roster spot opened up for me and that they wanted me to move in on July 29th. So 3 days,
3 days.
You know, the whole script flipped in 3 days like that, you know. So I went from, I don't know if I'm going to play football this season to train rolling right now. And me and my mom, we got everything together. We had to drive up Lackawanna on a Sunday and, you know, do all the paperwork, do all the financial aid stuff and get all that done. And I ended up being on the roster, you know, and like Ronnie said, that it just happened just in that instant, you know. That's when I seen God, you know, change my life.
For both of you, what role did your families play in this kind of big shift to start playing college football? You just mentioned that your mom helped you pack up your life.
My mom is everything, you know. If it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't have been at Lackawanna. I wouldn't be here today. You know, my mom was the biggest supporter in my entire family. You know, she hasn't missed a game. She actually,
I love that.
I'm sorry, my mom actually just missed her first game because I
Don't
told
call
her.
her out like that.
No, literally, I can say it because I told her not to come, you know?
Okay.
And this was the LA Rams game.
The Rams game,
You
okay.
know, and we live in New Jersey, so I didn't want my mom to
That's
keep.
fair.
Because she'd do it every week if she got to. You know,
Love that.
she'd go every game. So I told her not to come, you know, it's okay. And she didn't want to do it, and I was like, Mom, just don't come. But yeah, my mom played the biggest role in my life.
I love that. Ronnie, is your family frequently at your games as well?
Yeah, 100%. I got a little situation at the moment because my dad's coaching, and then I got one of my little brothers is at Michigan playing football. Then I got another little brother at Southeast Missouri playing basketball. So my family's spread out all over the place right now. Then my little sister got her games on the weekend too. So, but yeah, I mean, my family definitely is bigger part of a role in this whole journey as I am. I mean, I just remember having a conversation with my dad when it all kind of happened my senior year. That day, honestly, after I got off the phone with Coach Harbaugh, it was, you know, because the biggest thing was always really the money. It was like you can pay to go play, like walk on somewhere and play football, or I can go on a full scholarship to play basketball. And so for me, I'm like, man, I'm not about to have my parents pay for
Right.
school. Like that's crazy. Like that's crazy when I can go to school on a full ride.
I feel ya.
And man, my dad, man, he was on the phone with me and he was like, Ronnie, like throw the money out, man. Like take the money completely out of the equation. Like tell me what you want to do. And I'm like, man, look, like if that's what it is, like I want to play ball, I want to play football. And I mean, that was one of the biggest weights, that conversation, that was one of the biggest weights lifted off my shoulder because I really had kind of just been playing basketball just because I could. Like,
Best financial decision, it sounded like. Okay.
So that was huge, man. And my dad doing that for me, holding that. And then my family throughout this whole process, we're in Michigan, the way that my family's grown, you know, once I got up to school there. And I feel like I've got, you know, 110,000 people that are in my family as well up there. So definitely just blessed.
Do either of you ever take a second now and just process that day that you got the very important phone call to now? Because obviously a lot has happened and now you are living your dream in the NFL.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It's so crazy. It's just crazy. The chain events that happen is just it's crazy.
So both of you are from out of state and then also went to college very far away from California. What are your first impressions of life on the West Coast?
You go first, right?
That look, I'm nervous.
Oh man, well, first thing that hit me was definitely the weather. Beautiful weather. It felt like I think I got my golf clubs out here as soon as I could with the way the weather was looking. Then I went golfing, and then the next thing that hit me was the prices out here.
That's fair. That is fair.
And
gas, huh?
I realized I was in a whole new world, man. So yeah, those two things.
Oh man, California. So I actually spent 3 months in L.A. for my training.
I do
for the
remember you
combine.
telling me this. Yes.
Yeah, so I
But
pretty,
now that you're a resident, a
yeah,
permanent resident.
it's a bit different. You know, I'm still trying to get all this California, stuff down packed, but the weather's definitely been the biggest plus. Every day is sunny.
I know it's never a bad. Well,
Yeah.
we got some gray days, but not that many.
The morning's cold. The
The morning is cold sometimes, and that is all we have to complain about. So this was actually a fan-submitted question on pretty much every platform. So Twitter, TikTok, someone emailed me as well. But both of you are rookies. Has the homesickness settled in at all yet? Or have you not even had time to think about it?
Not even had time to think. I don't think I'll get homesick, though. I've been away from home so
a while,
long.
man.
Like, home is wherever I'm at now. It's
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't think I've necessarily been homesick either. Just like you said, like especially once camp came around, man, it was rolling. It was rolling. You don't have no time to really even sit back and have a chance to be homesick because you in the books regardless, and when you're not in the books, you sleep. So.
That's true. Sleep and football. That is it.
Yeah.
For both of you guys, the Bay Area loves this football team and are so passionate about the 49ers and pretty much everything that goes on in your lives. Have you had a recognition out in the wild with some fans, and what has that been like?
Yo, all the time. I get
Really?
all the time.
Yeah.
Bro, people catch me mall, Walmart, and be like, you'll be walking and like you catch eye contact with somebody.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I wonder what the person's staring at. And then I walk around for a little bit, and they'll come up to me like, yo, you Ji'Ayir Brown? I'll be like, yeah. They be like, oh, man, can I get a picture? I'll be like, that's so much love to me, though, man. I always take a picture with them. I always try to show the fans love because it means a lot, to give back and, just to show them that we support them as well as much as they support us.
But I say really the biggest thing is you should know that they're appreciated, man.
Yeah.
That's the message I always definitely want to get across is that they're definitely appreciated.
I love that. So both of you have told me some of your long list of talents. So for those that don't know, you mentioned this earlier, but golf and magic for you, Ronnie. And then you were telling me basketball and dancing.
Yeah.
So how did you guys start diving into those? I think yours is college development, right? The magic?
No. Actually, it was OTAs.
Oh,
when we
okay.
got out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, when you cooped up in a hotel for 6 months, man, you'll start to figure some things out. And so yeah, before I knew it, I ordered some cards and I taught myself some tricks, and that ended up being pretty good.
It was a real good trick. I don't know if y'all seen it.
I know. We have to have you
I'm about to
do.
say,
I
yeah, we'll
forgot
have to
the
get
deck
that
of
next
cards,
time.
so that's on me. All right, so let's talk a little bit of NFL life. Both very early in your careers, 3 games in. Have you started to feel like the game and the NFL lifestyle has slowed down a little bit?
Yeah, slow down for me.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
definitely. It was like week 1 was like,
Yeah, fast.
and then I was good. I was about to say, well, then I kind of got the hang of it. But I will say that week 1, it was on you like that. Before you knew it, we was in Pittsburgh and it was about to be game time, and I felt like I was still scrambling. But definitely, just with everything that we do in this organization, they've done a good job to help me feel like I got my feet underneath me and feel good.
What was training camp like for the first time going through that?
Shoot, I feel like a freshman, man.
Man, we had the stickers on our helmet.
Yeah, man. I felt like
How to identify you guys?
felt like a youngin' all over again, man. But it was dope, man. It was hard, a lot of hard work, and wouldn't want anything less out of a fall camp, and definitely feel like we squeezed a whole lot out. So
Yeah, definitely, man. Just going to the practice field when the sun hitting the field and You got Fred Warren over there stretching. You got George Kittle over there doing his thing. Brock, all these big names. Trent, it's just so many guys. You like, man, like it don't get no better than this.
Those
man.
are your
It don't
teammates
get-
now.
Yeah.
Right.
It don't get no better than this. But yeah, like Ronnie said, man, camp went very well. I enjoyed it.
Both of you belong to position groups with some of the 49ers big-time playmakers, and realistically, there's some big names in every group. But what has it been like to be with the likes of a Brandon Ayuk and a Deebo Samuel and having them take you under their wing?
It's really been dope, just to learn from them and be around them, kind of get the start to try to steal tools that they've got in their bag, and then just for them, I really appreciate them the way that I feel like I was accepted in the room, and challenged in the room as well. Once we got into camp, like it wasn't necessarily like all buddy, like I was little bro or whatever, but it was like, nah, I was pushed out there, thrown into the water, man, and so I really appreciate them for that.
And Ji'Ayir, for you, you've got Huff and then also Tashawn Gibson Sr. What's it been like? Those two have chemistry. I feel like that is off the charts. They're best friends.
Yeah, they
They're besties.
No, yeah, they definitely best friends. But them two, they the most poised people I ever met. Whenever I need anything, I can call on them. Whenever I need to talk to them, I call on them. Gibb, I love Gibb, man. Gibb, he's such a cool, I call him OG, because he's been in the league a long time. Gibb, man, he's just so cool, man. Huff, I'm actually older than Huff.
Yeah, he did make mention of that once, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually older than Huff. So Huff tried not to say too much. He tried to let, Gibb handle it, and Gibb just the coolest, OG, man. He just there whenever you need him, man. That's what I respect the most about him.
We've seen in Huff's mic'd up segments that one of his favorite things to do is kid with Gibb, that, he's a kid of the 90s. Just wondering if you jump in on that too, as a Gen Z.
I'm like the Energizer Bunny in the room.
Okay.
I bring the energy. I try to keep guys smiling and laughing and stuff. Just all the things that the guys don't have in the room. I try to bring that that type of energy around.
Like that. All right, Ronnie, so wanted to talk about your big moment last game. Your first NFL reception happened to be a touchdown pass. Same thing that happened in your college career. You hear the play call. What's going through your mind?
Oh man, I was excited because the Giants, man, they blitz. They cover zero often. So as soon as we got the call, I don't know if anybody heard me, but I was like, man, bet. I'm like, hold on, man.
It's my time.
So then I ran out there, and then sure enough, they came out, and I'm like, wait a minute. And so yeah, like my head was already ticking. Like I had a feeling it was about to come my way, and so yeah, it was super exciting and definitely dope to get us a lead like that and kind of get the engine rolling.
I saw that you got the game ball back. Was there somebody that took the time to grab that for
yeah,
you?
they said George Kittle picked it up for me and held on to it, and then
What a guy.
Yeah, appreciate him. And then the EQ staff, once they got it all aired up, put the tape on it, and it's all nice and ready to go.
And Tig, I saw you had a couple snaps against the Giants as well. How do those snaps compare to some of the preseason time that you saw?
A little different. The game a little faster, when you got there in the regular season. I think my first snap was against Darren Waller. Had him man-to-man. So won a rep. They ain't passed my way. I was hoping they passed my way. I want to get an
like, call my
interception.
number,
Get an
call
interception. Yeah. I might would have threw my ball out the stadium, though. I don't know. But, yeah, it was a good feeling.
Cool. All right. We are going to move to the fan-submitted question portion of this. This is straight off of TikTok, but it was sent to me.
We got a TikTok?
Well, sometimes I ask for questions or I'll
Yeah.
tweet it out, so people will just they'll DM me questions for this show specifically. So, all right. So how do you both feel about Taylor Swift putting Travis Kelce on the map?
No.
Nah, man, what she got going on is kind of crazy, man.
Putting Travis Kelce on the map, though?
Bruh, but
This
you
may or
remember
may
when she
not be
was
a
here?
trend. So I'm
Crazy.
gathering that neither of you are Swifties. No?
No, I'm not
Nah,
a Swiftie.
like,
I'm not a Swiftie.
Nah, but like I know Taylor Swift music though. You feel me?
He
Like
respects the
I,
cultural
res-
significance.
I respect her too.
I'm about to
Any-
say, like if you play
anybody-
like one of her main songs, like I would know it. But like I'm not like, yeah, like I wasn't at the concert, like
Okay.
dressed
All right.
up.
Maybe
Any
the next
fan-
time she comes around.
Any fan that can make you cry, any artist that can make you cry by talking, you gotta respect it.
Yeah,
you got to.
yeah, she got some pull, man.
Yeah, she
for
got
sure.
some. Yeah.
This actually leads me into our next question. This is Kareem from Toronto. Wants to know what 3 albums changed your life.
Music? Shoot.
What you got?
J. Cole, Forest Hill Drive, mandatory, man. That's what put me on music for real, when I was in high school, man. That was like my first album. I think I played every day on repeat. Couldn't stop playing. Oh shoot. Shoot. 3 of them, no. I probably don't got 3, but that's definitely
All right,
number
that's the
one
one.
for me. Yeah.
I got one for you. One artist I listen to, be Lil Durk. The album, every last one of them.
All of the
Every
songs.
last one of them, man. He
Good pick, though.
greatest.
Yeah.
That's a good pick. All right, so Chris from Roseville wants to know, if you weren't an NFL player, what would be your chosen career?
Dancer.
A dancer.
I'll be
Okay.
a firefighter.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So are you like a backup dancer for somebody,
I'd
or
probably be the star of the show. Oh, no.
I feel like you gotta sing
I might-
too, though. If you,
Yeah, I was like, I think you have to.
I could sing a little bit. A couple other.
Drop
let me
some
see.
bars.
You can
Like-
dance well enough to pass for your
I can-
singing.
it-
100.
Exactly, man.
Can we hear it?
Exactly. Nah, I ain't gonna give it the other day. I ain't gonna give
Now
it
you
the
gotta
other
say,
For another
save your
day.
voice.
Yeah,
For
I said
another
save
day.
my
For
voice.
another
Save my
day.
voice. I got a lot of communication to do on Sunday.
All right, Manuel from San Francisco. Did you ever play any other position in football other than the one you currently play? If so, what was it?
Every last one of them.
Every last one of
Yeah,
them.
man. I was a QB and a DB.
Yeah, I played QB. I played tight end. I played linebacker. I played DN. It's all on my high school tape. We just go pull that up. But I played everything. In high school.
I strictly played quarterback in practice because they don't really be doing that. So in high school, I was playing quarterback every day.
Self-assess. How good were you guys at QB?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, I was cold.
Yeah, I was cold too.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to say like Mike Vick with a little bit of Brady.
A little bit of Brady.
Wow.
What I used
With
to
a
call
little
myself,
Brady.
man, I used to call myself like Cam, Lamar, or Brady or something. I called myself all 3. I said like, whenever they would talk to me, they had to establish my name as that whenever they would speak to me. I was a mixture of Newton, Jackson, and Brady, all of them.
When I lined up the wide receiver, I used to swear I was Deshaun Jackson though. I swear I was Deshaun Jackson. That was my favorite receiver growing up.
We appreciate the confidence here. All right, last one. How close has the 2023 rookie class become? And do you have a best friend? It's okay if it's not each other. It's fine. Nobody will get their feelings hurt.
We always pretty close though coming in.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I feel like we did a good job.
Yeah, we was kicking it.
And then like we had a little rookie development meetings. That was like dope. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times, you know, that meeting's at it's the last thing of the day. You want to go home, but we kind of found a way to
make it fun.
Yeah, I was about to say we found a way to enjoy it, and you know, once we went in there, we was really just kind of kicking it. So I feel like our whole class did a good job of coming together.
I love that. Well, thank you both so much for your time. I know you guys had a long day of practice, but I know the Faithful are going to so appreciate getting to know both of you a little bit better. And Faithful, just a reminder, if you'd like to have your questions featured on a podcast episode, make sure to send them in to 49ers.com/mailbag, and make sure to subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We are going to leave you with some sounds of the locker room. Here is a roundup of 49ers players sharing their favorite cheat meal.
Ramen noodles, the cup ones though. Yeah, the spicy ramen noodle, cup noodles, yeah.
Over the mini buy, how many did you have?
1. I bought 2, ate 1, so yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. I like to go a lot of different ways with it. I don't get too many cheat days, so I'm a little chunky. But there's a spot out here called Backyard that's like really good Jamaican food that Lakin put me on, being he's a Jamaican. I took his word for it, and it's pretty solid. So if I can, I'll get that, but I try to keep it slim as much as I can.
Favorite cheat meal? Oh yeah, it has to be Jamaican food. I go to Backyard every chance I get.
What do you order there? Let's let you make it.
Oh yeah, Backyard. I get the oxtails and the curry chicken.
Did you have that over
I didn't have it, but I had a bunch of Chiba toasted subs on my this last weekend.
East Coast guy, so we're gonna go with some nice steamed blue crabs, or maybe some oxtails. You know, that's probably the biggest thing. I'd probably say blue crabs though.
My favorite cheat day meal would probably be like fried fish, fried shrimp, a little cornbread, baked mac and cheese, fried cabbage, maybe some greens in there, you know, a little peach cobbler on the side.
Some soul food, fried chicken, mashed potatoes and gravy, mac and cheese, and then you gotta finish it off with a little dessert. I love cheesecake, so cheesecake is my go-to.